The corona health emergency has plunged India into a humanitarian crisis. Overburdened and overstretched, the government hospitals have become cesspools of apathy and negligence. The only option is to turn towards private hospitals. But Times Now's investigation reveals how patients are paying a steep price for treatment at private hospitals in Chennai. In the first sting operation, Times Now's Shilpa Nair inquires about the hospital charges for a COVID-positive patient. They reveal the cost of a patient to be on the ventilators between 1 lakh and 1.25 lakh rupees for each day. Listen into how patients in need are being fleeced.
Hi ma'am.
How is the patient? Is he stable?
Yeah, he has only mild symptoms. No. He has only mild symptoms, only throat pain, that's all.
Okay.
No other issues. But we are very scared.
What's his name? What's his name?
His name is Manish.
Manish.
Yeah.
So now he's in scale doctor.
No, he's in RGGH.
Here we have a single sharing room vacant, madam.
It's sharing only you have? Okay.
But if there's any vacant AC room, we'll shift him later. Availability, as per availability, we'll shift him now.
Okay.
Cost estimate will be around 50 to 60. It is a AC room. Is tested
Single.
positive.
Yeah, he's tested.
When was it tested?
3 days back.
3 days. Maybe usually 48 hours later again they recheck, madam.
No, his second test also. Yeah.
Okay. Then we have to admit him in the COVID block only. We can't admit him elsewhere. So there the rates might be 40 to 50,000 per day, madam.
Per day. Okay. And 40 to 50. Any
Room will get 11,000.
room rent is 11,000
11,000. PPEs must be 10,000
per day.
per day.
Okay.
And other things like monitor or usage of ventilator or that will be separately charged. Diet will be separately charged. The room rent and PPEs alone will be charged around 20,000 per day.
Any advance, because some other hospitals
50,000 advance application.
50,000.
And covered under the insurance,
Yeah, we are.
so we'll apply that.
Okay.
If it's process okay, if not, we'll have to pay.
Okay. So, is there any mandatory, like, do you discharge once the symptoms go away, or do you wait?
We'll shift him for after 7 days. We'll again test him, madam.
Okay.
If that is negative, we'll shift him for observation in another room.
Okay.
And from there, we might discharge.
Okay.
Yeah. If the patient's condition worsens, then we have to shift him on the unstable side. Unstable side.
But you have
7 days, we have to pay
vacancies
her.
here.
We have to check it out.
Some other hospitals, they were like, it's very crowded and they're demanding.
No, we have a few rooms separately for COVID block. We'll find out if room. Do you want a single AC or not?
Single preferably.
Single preferably.
Yeah.
Single இருக்குமா? கேட்டுப்பாருங்க. Deluxe ஒன்று இருக்குல்ல அங்க? High AC. One deluxe is available.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Deluxe meaning?
Deluxe is 6,500 separate room AC.
Okay, per day.
But no attendant will be allowed inside, madam.
Oh.
In any room.
Oh.
Where will be alone and will be informed 18/4 by the PT doctors.
Okay.
No visiting time also.
So 6,500 is for deluxe room.
Deluxe room plus PPE plus other things extra, medicines, everything is extra.
Okay.
So that will come from the 70
Roughly, if
70 to 80,000 you keep safely
safely
per day.
per day.
It's a deluxe room.
Okay.
And the deluxe room should be eligible under insurance also. If that is not approved, then you have to pay a huge amount.
If it's the ward means, then how much should be?
40 to 50, maximum 60.
60 every day.
I'm telling you
the
the higher
government
side.
hospital,
I'm
we
telling
are-
the higher side. It may be less.
Yeah, obviously. We're just scared to put him in government hospitals. ಇಲ್ಲ, only throat pain.
If it's ventilator, it will be more. It will go to 1.2. 1.2. 1 lakh to 125,000.
If it's ventilated.
You're watching the News Hour at 10. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Let's go across to our guests who are joining us for more on this. Dr. K.K. Agarwal, President of Heart Care Foundation of India, is with us. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, Chairman of Nephron, joins us on the broadcast, as well as Dr. Alok Rai, Chair of FICCI Health Services Committee and Chairman of Medica Group of Hospitals, Kolkata. Dr. Nilima Vaidya, Secretary of AMC, is also joining us live at the moment. Let me begin with you first, Dr. Alok Rai, and begin by asking you, when there's a room rent of 11,000 rupees, PPEs of 10,000 rupees per day, monitors, use of ventilators, medicines, etc. separately charged, and a rate of 1 to 1.525 lakh per day. Is this not fleecing of the common man by private hospitals at a time of a global pandemic, sir?
It's certainly too high for a treatment in general ward, but if it is in the ICU, and which includes a very expensive medicine, then it can go up to 50 to 60,000 rupees, 70,000 rupees per day. Otherwise, in general ward, the cost should not increase more than 10 to 15,000 rupees a day max.
I'm glad you said that, sir. But you know what we've caught on our cameras? What we've caught on our cameras is that in a room with an air-conditioned room, a person needs to spend about 40 to 50,000 rupees just for a general room, not an ICU room. For an ICU, the charge is about 1 lakh to 1.25 lakh rupees. And that's why we're raising this question. Why are private hospitals, do they not have a responsibility towards the citizens to actually, at least be moderate in their pricing? Because this appears to be nothing but profiteering, Dr. Sanjeev Bagai.
Sir, I think one side
Good evening, Madhav.
all. If one is charging, does not
That question is for Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, sir. Let him respond.
Good evening, Madhav. My take on this is obviously the private healthcare is overtly expensive because of the cost-intensive nature of setting up a hospital. But the root cause of this is two. One is we as doctors and as society are mute spectators to the rising costs. And point number two is the original landowners, and I've said this many times and many months in the past, are charitable trusts. Are they doing charity? Are they fulfilling the deed towards the charitable nature of the trust what has been set up? They are using income tax exemption. Are they using it justifiably? Any bill which is of 1.2 or 1.3 lakhs per day, even if it's in ICU, is well beyond the reach even for a wealthy person. So is the cure better or the disease worse?
Well, that's the question.
Know.
That's a question, and I'm going to take that up with the other panelists as well. Please bear with me, Dr. Bagai, because we have a caller joining us, and we're asking our viewers to join us and express yourselves. What do you think? Because clearly, this is something that every citizen would be thinking about. What if I'm hospitalized? What's going to happen to me? On the one hand, you have public healthcare. The other hand, you have private healthcare. It's like choosing between the devil and the deep sea. Shiv Shankar is our first viewer joining us from Pune. Yes, Shiv Shankar.
Yeah, hello.
Go ahead, Shiv Shankar.
Yeah. Good evening, Team Times Now, and good evening to the panel of Dr. Shiv Shankar here, calling from Pune. First of all, I would like to appreciate Times Now for bringing this matter to public limelight. Because just to share with you, I also had a horrendous experience a couple of years back as far as corporate hospitals are concerned. So my sincere request would be to, bring into limelight such nefarious scams which are going in the name of healthcare. And the viewer, as a commoner of India, I would request Ministry of Health in both state as well as central to into that.
All right.
Once again, I appreciate Times Now for bringing this.
So we're only doing our job, Shiv Shankar. Thanks so much for joining us and expressing your views. I want to go across to Dr. K.K. Agarwal, President of Heart Care Foundation. Dr. K.K. Agarwal, that's the voice of the common man. When anyone sees what we've got on our tape, they are bound to be outraged by the kind of profiteering that we are seeing happening at this time of crisis, Dr. Agarwal.
So I'm very clear, we are a common man first, later a doctor, and we also run a family. I totally agree with the views of the people, with the views of the media, and I take full responsibility that is the duty of the government and the state government. Because this is a pandemic, they should freeze the price of anything in the pandemic. It's a government responsibility under the State Epidemic Disease Act and the Pandemic Act. As they have frozen the price of the testing, they have frozen the price of the personal protective equipment. It is their duty, and they should immediately do capping as far as treatment of COVID is concerned.
Okay.
Whether in a non-COVID patient, we can have a further debate. But there is no debate that it's a pandemic, it's a duty of the government, and it's a duty of the hospitals to cooperate with each other and come back and freeze a price which is affordable to everybody in the country.
All right,
It
I'm glad
cannot
you
be
said that,
rich
sir.
or the
I'm glad you
poor.
said that because there's a related point that I want to rake up, but I want to first go across to our next viewer who's joining us, Narendra Kumar. Yes, Narendra Kumar. Narendra Kumar, can you hear me, sir? All right, Dr. Rakesh from Warangal is our next viewer with us. Yes, Dr. Rakesh.
Sir, health per se is the fundamental right for every citizen. We are having all debates relevant with higher costs at private hospitals. Fundamentally, what I would like to is, why is the government not raising the budget to develop the government setup?
Well, that's a
Government setups are so scarce with the fundamental infrastructure that the patients are forced to go to private sector, and the costs are relevant with the infrastructure, the cost of establishing an institute.
All right.
The private hospital has its own cost.
Yes, that's a relevant point. That's a very relevant point, Mr. Narendra Kumar. Doctor, in fact, let me take that across to Dr. Nilima Vaidya, who's also with us. She's Secretary of the AMC. Dr. Vaidya, are we paying the price for not investing enough in public healthcare, where people are forced to go to private hospitals because of the horror, the scenes of horror that we've seen coming in from government hospitals, whether it's Mumbai, whether it's Delhi or any other part of the country. Unfortunately, people are too scared to go to government hospitals, and at the same time, they're fearing being fleeced in private hospitals.
Let me clarify that I have passed through 2 hospitals like this when I was doing my education from JJ Hospital and from KEM when I was doing my post-graduation. So I have witnessed this previously also. The government budgetary sanction to the healthcare has been so poor that the past 1960 onwards there have been only 2 hospitals which have come up. In 1960, our population was somewhere around 31 lakhs, and today our population 2 crores have been added to this. And in spite of that, only 2 hospitals have come up. And prior to that, we had 12 other hospitals. So in the past 51 years, since 1969, no major government setup has ever come. I think government has a responsibility. When we talk about fundamental health has to be guaranteed by the government, not by the private sector. The private sector, in fact, is a supplemental comes and stands for the government, where the government is not able to take care. And 7% of the healthcare is shouldered by the private hospital. Now, if you talk about the corporate hospitals fleecing, I would not really agree about the word fleecing, because the cost of running a corporate hospital is extremely high.
This is double of what really all the doctors are claiming on the panel. How can we say this is not fleecing?
Very, very expensive.
Dr. Vaidya,
Yes,
other doctors are also there on this panel, and they're all in agreement that the cost is definitely too high.
Yeah, I agree the cost is too high, and that's why I'm saying
so that is fleecing, ma'am, then?
Of reasonable cost, and not a capping to an extent where treatment, the quality of treatment of the patient will get affected.
Nobody is saying that, but there has to be a reasonable limit.
Where some adjustment will need to be made.
Possibly so, but there has to be a reasonable limit, and perhaps in the time of crisis, the government too has to step in. Please stay with us, Dr. Nilima Vaidya. I want to go across to 2 more viewers who are joining us. Ashok is with us from Bengaluru. Yes, Ashok.
मैं आपसे हिंदी में वार्तालाप करूंगा।
जी बोलिए।
मेरी एक रिक्वेस्ट है, सारे जो डॉक्टर्स यहाँ पे बैठे हैं, आप सभी लोगों ने टीवी पे आके बोला कि कोरोना का कोई भी इलाज नहीं है, और आप इस तरह से ये लोग प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स लोगों से पैसा चार्ज कर रहे हैं, जबकि उनके बंदे मर जाते हैं, वापस नहीं आते हैं। मैं आपको एक इन्फॉर्म कर रहा हूँ, वार्न कर रहा हूँ कि आप जनता को इंसाइट कर रहे हैं कि वो फिर अनरूली हो जाएंगे। फिर आप डॉक्टर्स लोग कहेंगे कि देखिए कि हम इलाज भी करते हैं, हम पे अटैक हो रहा है।
All right, Ashok. I think we've understood the point that you've raised. I'm going to put that question across, but I want to go across to our next viewer. Riya is joining us from Pune. Yes, Riya.
Yeah, hello, good evening. You see, I have got 3 points to talk on. First of all, COVID is a deadly disease. It has got no kind of treatment, as the previous caller did say, Mr. Ashok. Secondly, these fees or this kind of a money has been getting extracted ever since. It's like a certain kind of a cult which has been happening in between doctors. Now it is only highlighted because of corona. So this is nothing awe-striking that they are taking such a lot of money for such kind of a treatment or for something like an ambulance or something like, in detail.
Okay.
But this has been happening ever since. Thirdly, one more very strong point is I would like to suggest to everybody that if this is something really different, but if you really shut down the hospitals,
Yeah.
then people will have the honors of
Okay.
they will be bearing the honors of...
All right, Ria, we have to leave it there, but I'd like to thank you for joining us with your views. Ramesh is our next viewer joining us. Yes, Ramesh.
Yeah, I'm calling from Coimbatore.
Yes, go ahead.
You have just showed a government hospital condition in Delhi that the bodies are kept near the patient,
Right.
isn't it?
No, the
So
bodies were
what
kept. The
about
bodies are stacked up in a morgue in Delhi, and the bodies are kept near the patients in a hospital in Mumbai. We had reported on that story a short while earlier, Ramesh. I'd like to thank you for joining us. But let me take that question back to our doctors who are with us on this particular panel. Dr. Roy, I want to come to you first, because this is really the sentiment of a lot of people, that if this overcharging takes place, then the people will begin to lose faith in institutions such as healthcare, hospitals, and doctors.
Sir, you are right that if we are charging more, then it should be criticized. But as I said earlier, one size doesn't fit all. There are many hospitals. If there are 100 hospitals that are doing good job, they are treating them. These are very bad times for the private hospitals. In spite of them, they are treating within limits, treating them well. If one or two hospitals charge more, I'm not sure that everybody charge. I think we need to rationalize a little bit more and make it really more realistic and peaceful.
All right, we need to be more realistic. Dr. Bagai, do we need to be more realistic?
Yeah, I think I would categorize my answer. There are different types of hospitals. So there are something which are giving quaternary care, some are giving tertiary care, some have much more infrastructure accepted. And therefore, the rates would vary from one hospital to another hospital, but clearly it cannot jump as a 100% jump in the time of COVID. But having said that, really the disconnect between the patient's community and the medical fraternity is because of this friction. And very often, because we are the doctor, as medical professionals, as doctors, face the patients day in and day out, we get the brunt of it. I want to clarify, actually, as medical professionals, we don't make the rate list. We don't put the charges. So I will strongly urge that there should be some rationale of charges overall. And very clearly, during the time of COVID, you have to have a softer hand. There are a lot of patients where you're charging 1 lakh a day is well out of reach even for the wealthy. The last point very quickly I want to make is, I think we need to self-introspect. It's very easy to say that someone blamed a medical professional, someone blamed a hospital, but I think we need to think ourselves what we need to do, what path we need to follow for the next 10 years. Perhaps what we've been doing in the last 10 years is not going to work further.
Right, what we've been doing, the path we are down is clearly not going to work for the future, Dr. Vaidya. That's the statement coming in from Dr. Bagai, because an innate sense of disconnect between what the expectations of the patients are and what the reality is that the doctors are facing.
See, basically, when you want to cap the price of the hospital, I completely agree that they have to be reasonable and they just cannot shoot through the roof. But at the same time, we need to realize that a lot of other cappings also need to happen. Materials that we are using, the PPEs that we are using, the N95 masks that we are using. There's a PIL in the court regarding capping of the N95 mask. It was available at 17.33 rupees in February, and they suddenly shot up to 250 and 300 rupees. But the mask is the same. We put a PIL that is languishing in the court for the
because
past
Dr.
2 weeks.
Vaidya, I remember the government coming out to say that the PPE kit can be bought for as much as 400 rupees. But if you look at what we've got, and I'm just going to interrupt you for a moment, because what we've heard today is that the hospital is charging 10,000 rupees a day, Dr. Vaidya. 10,000 rupees a day. How many PPE kits would be needed for a day for a single patient? Not more than 1 or 2 per shift. What justifies then, even if you're using 10 PP kits at the rate of 400 or 450, that's still less than 5,000 rupees, even if it is as high as 10. And I'm sure it's not.
I completely agree, sir. I completely agree with I completely agree with you over here. But the point is this, that PPE kits, you cannot rate how many PPE can be used. If a patient becomes serious, you may need more of them because you may need more helping hands. In a PPE kit, it's very, very difficult to work for more than 4 hours to try wearing it. It is extremely difficult to wear a PPE kit and work in the ICUs or in the wards also. And it is not just 1 or 2 PPE kits. Do not count it that way. There are too many patients, and that is why the healthcare workers also are.
Ma'am, even private hospitals are only giving doctors and nurses 1 PPE kit per shift, unfortunately. I know it's difficult, but the reality is also that hospitals don't give more than 1 per shift. Am I right, Dr. Agarwal? Dr. Agarwal, is that the reality?
I don't think so. The issue here is number of kits because the bill is given in detail. The question here is it's a pandemic. In a pandemic, the government should react and should cap the price. And if they can't cap the price, and if the hospital is spending more money, government should give the subsidy to the hospital. Question here is to provide equal care to everybody, whether he is poor or rich, whether he gets a treatment in government hospital or in a private hospital. It's a pandemic question. I don't think so we are debating a non-pandemic situation. Because in the past, we have discussed and debated a lot about a non-pandemic situation. We are discussing a pandemic situation, which is humanity, which comes in. Hospitals have been designated by the hospital. Every hospital is not allowed. If a hospital has been designated by the government hospital that only you can admit a patient, I think government should freeze the price. These are your prices, you pay. If the hospital says,
but you know what's interesting, Dr. Agarwal, is that there are private hospitals that are actually objecting to be designated also. That's the reality of what's happening in Delhi today.
No, that's under the Disease Epidemic Act, government can force them, government can take over the hospitals, government can run them. There are clear-cut laws available, government can take over 5-star hotels, anything can be taken up, it's a question of a broader good. When it comes to a broader good, government can take over, government can dictate, and government can also pay the hospitals subsidy that you charge this much, rest of the cost we will pay.
Right. Dr. Alok Roy, do you think it's time that those private hospitals which have been objecting to be designated COVID should really fall in line? Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. You know, whether it is public healthcare, whether it's private healthcare, whether it's hospitals, whether it's doctors, whether it's patients, we all have to collectively work towards defeating the disease. Unfortunately, there is a section of doctors or hospitals, if I can, either way you want to look at it, who are actually objecting and not following or falling in line, despite the fact that, as Dr. Agarwal said, the government has all powers to do so in the case of such a pandemic.
I think no private hospital would be averse to the idea of serving in this pandemic, and they would be very happy to join hands with the government. It's a question of that they need to be taken care of what their cost and expenses are. If the government, as Dr. Agarwal has said correctly, if the government joins hands with private and takes care of their costs, no one wants to make profit at this point of time.
Right.
If the costs taken care
unfortunately, sir, we are completely out of time. But this is one story I can tell you that viewers are certainly completely irked about. And this is something that not just all citizens of India, but certainly all those in healthcare across India need to pay very close attention to, because we certainly cannot allow a time of such a grave national pandemic or international global pandemic